This is a free download from the BBC. For more information, go to bbc.co.uk/podcasts.
You're listening to the podcast. This is the...
No. I want a really big cell.
I can't.
How about, right, I'll set the scene. There's two wrestlers coming in to wrestle each other in a big match. The stadium's going, there's cheers.
Catherine?
Whoa!
My blouse is gaping.
There's cheers. You are introducing the first wrestler. The first wrestler is called Iainlee's podcast. Get the echo on.
Who's the second podcast?
Who's the second podcast?
Wrestler.
The end of the podcast.
Would you please welcome...
Wait, the echo.
No, I can't... no!
Oh, okay, sorry.
This is the pod... Would you please welcome to the ring the podcast that doesn't even make sense?
No. I'm just giving you...
We're a minute...
I'm giving you a scene,
okay.
And I want you to imagine that you're there.
Okay, yeah.
But you're introducing the podcast, not to the ring, just to the world.
Okay, this is the podcast.
And it starts now.
This is the podcast.
Beep. Okay, starts. Beep.
This is the podcast.
Beep. What are you doing?
Well, that's it.
No, I want a really big cell.
Coming up.
No, Ian, please.
Some of this.
No, just do a really big. And welcome. You are listening to Iainlee's podcast. Thank you for downloading. Cheers.
Coming up, some of this.
Oh yeah, I'm not using clips anymore. Don't do that.
Some of this.
You say some of this and I'll act out what it is.
And some of this.
I do not do a show about Adolf Hitler.
But first of all, some of this.
Christmas time. La 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 la.
Will you two stop it?
This time.
Now.
La 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 la. Who let Mum in?
Yeah, Scrooge. Scrooge your mum.
This time. La 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 la.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
I don't do a programme about Adolf Hitler.
There was a power cut earlier in the week. Luton was blacked out. Not completely, but the studio was. So a lot of the stuff didn't work. Then during the show, we went off air.
Wow.
I've never been so excited in my life. Tiny little bit of wee came out.
Ooh.
Do you think that these incentives, these cash incentives, are turning neighbour against neighbour? I think we may just be back on air. Are we back on air now? That was exciting. I think we're back on air. Right, what we need to do... All the lights went off and the computer switched off. What we need you to do now, please, dear listener, is, first of all, don't panic. Secondly, can you give us a call and let us know if we're on air? If you don't give us a call now, I'm going to assume we're not on air, and I'm going to put my feet up, loosen my belt, sit back and relax. Kelly Betts.
If they do call, I can't see it.
OK, I will be able to tell if a call's coming in. This is exciting. Must have been what it was like for Lord Haw-Haw. No, hang on, not him. But this is what it must have been like broadcasting. Line 1 is ringing. Do you have the power?
I can't.
But we will in a second. Hang on.
Bear with me. Keep ringing.
Keep ringing, guys. 3 lines are ringing.
Really?
What that means is, A, the phones are working, so that's good. B, 4 lines are ringing. We must be broadcasting. Now, we don't have the power to operate.
Or we're not. And they're saying you're not on air.
They could
I might
be
able to do it. Hold on. Where
1, 2 and 4 are ringing here. This is exciting. All the lights went off and there was a little panic. Which one of you screamed? There was a scream.
Hello, Three Counties.
It was Jonathan next door.
What was it? Yes, OK. Well,
oh, that's lovely. Can I pop you through to have a chat with Ian?
It sounds like we're working, look.
Oh, Mark and Bletchley's got other things to do, says.
What have you got to do, Mark? He's gone. What?
Hello,
okay.
Three Counties.
Hang on, I can do it now.
Oh, brilliant. What's your name?
Good morning, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Can I pop you through to have a quick chat with Ian?
Hooray, who's that?
We've got someone coming through. OK, right, this is... Who's that on line 1?
Wendy.
Hello, Wendy. Whereabouts are you?
Little Iainlee.
Oh, lovely. Are we coming through loud and clear?
You are coming through loud and clear.
Did we have a little blip where we stopped coming through?
You had a blip, and my husband just said, oh, have they had a power cut?
Oh, well, the thing is, a lot of... Oh, hang on a second. A lot of Luton has had a power cut. As we were driving in, it was very dark. I think someone has reset the fuse because all of our lights, Wendy, have just come back on.
Oh, good.
Sing hosannas. That deserves... Hang on a second. We need to celebrate this. Let's play... Jonathan's got his horn. I would suggest my horn is a little better. Let's celebrate the power coming back.
sounds like a ship.
We'll back announce, which is called a back anno in the biz, that was a really exciting... That was the most exciting part of the radio that happened this week.
That was the best bit that happened.
But here are some others.
Then
I'll just put a really good bit in there.
Lovely. Morning, Dave. What would you like to say?
Good morning. Yes, I'm in favour of MPs earning more if we're getting quality MPs, which I don't think we are really. And as Nadine Dorries said when she was pulled up over I'm a Celebrity thing, she knows loads of MPs, barristers, who are working 3 days a week as a barrister. There's one other point I'd like to make, is that you're a professional broadcaster, and you're using your position to browbeat people, picking up on their grammar, and all sorts of things like this. And I think you're sort of... I lived in Canada, and there was these browbeating types of phone-in broadcasters there, and you're sort of going along with what they did and not allowing people to make their points. I know some people make their points a bit slow, probably I myself, but we are not professional broadcasters. And you're not having a debate, you're just shouting at people. If you do... You said, at last somebody's sensible. They were sensible because they agreed with you. Okay, do you think I'm in right to say this?
Do I think what, sorry? You're in right to say this?
Do you think I'm right to say that you browbeat people? Because this is the first time I've heard this programme, and I'm sitting here just waiting to put my car in for service, and, it just seems to me that you are using your position. And the other point I wanted to make is, okay, they don't earn as much as they should be earning, but they do get a tremendous pension when they've done 2 terms, and nobody's mentioned this yet.
No one's mentioned what?
No one's mentioned the fact they get a tremendous pension when they do 2 terms in office.
Okay.
I think it works out to 2/3 of salary from the time that they finish their term in Parliament.
Have you finished?
Yes, if you like, yeah.
Which of those points would you like me to address first, David?
Any one you like.
Let's go to the first one.
Yep.
Do you remember what that was?
Yes, I think they deserve a very, very good wage if they are quality people, which I do not think we're getting.
Why don't you think we're getting quality people?
Because I come from an era when, the politicians at the era I'm talking about, they didn't have this constant television scrutiny. But the era they came from, if they did... Hugh Dalton was ex-Chancellor of the Exchequer. He made a mistake, he fell on his sword. Profumo fell on his sword. Not now.
Well, Profumo fell on something, didn't he?
Jeremy Hunt has been found...
Sword is an appropriate phrase.
Sorry? Sorry, yes, it was. And he fell on his sword, and he lived a pretty worthwhile life thereafter. You're talking about Profumo, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, he lived a very exemplary life after he finished as MP.
Good for him. Well done. But so you're not citing Profumo as something that MPs should be looking up to, are you?
No, I am saying that MPs in the era I'm talking about. I'm 77, so I'll go back
they were all in bed with hookers and call girls back then.
Okay, just one moment. What I'm saying is,
you can't be looking up to them, Dave.
What I'm saying is, I'm not condoning what they did, but if they were caught out, and Hugh Dalton wasn't.
If they were caught out, only if they were caught out. It didn't prevent them doing the naughtiness between the sheets and telling secrets about nuclear submarines to women who were sleeping with Russian ambassadors. It didn't stop them, but only when they were caught out. I see.
That's correct. And they fell on their sword.
That's your definition. That's your definition of decency. If they've been caught out giving secrets to prostitutes, then they would fall on a sword.
Get around it.
Okay, so that's
your next point, because we're not going to agree on this.
Well, no, we're not going to agree, and that's the beauty of it. So you think it's okay to sleep with prostitutes, to give them?
No, I don't think that at all.
Dave, if I may just finish. You think it's okay for MPs to sleep with prostitutes, to give tactical military secrets to them when those call girls are themselves sleeping with Russians?
Yes. I don't think he's right.
Dave, may I finish?
Sure.
Thank you. You accuse me of browbeating, so thank you. So you think it's okay to do that, but as long as when they do get caught out, they fall on their sword. That's the main thing.
This yeah, okay. Nowadays they don't do that. If they're caught out, there's a lot of sleaze going around now. If they're caught out, they don't resign. This is my point now.
Maybe they're not being caught out, Dave, because maybe they're not doing it.
Jeremy Hunt. Jeremy Hunt with these phone tapping scandals and that.
Yeah, OK, Dave, but maybe they're not doing all the seedy, dirty things that you seem to think our MPs should be aspiring to. They did back in the day.
I made the example of Profumo, but the example I first made was Hugh Dalton, and his was a...
Well, I'm picking up on the examples you're giving me, Dave. I can't read your mind and see what other names are in your head.
My first person I mentioned was Hugh Dalton, and he was Chancellor of the Exchequer, and he made a mistake, and things got leaked. So immediately he resigned. And that was nothing sleazy in the way of sleeping with prostitutes or anything like that.
But yet you did mention some gentlemen who had indulged in those acts.
Yes, I did, yes, but as another example of MPs...
Of decency.
Of MPs who fall on their sword.
We should stop mentioning swords when you're talking about Profumo.
Yeah, OK.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the other... I don't remember what the third point was. It was a little bit dull. The second one was about me browbeating.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yet you're still listening, aren't you?
Yeah, but I just thought...
So who wins?
This guy's they're not giving people a chance. OK, I must say, you're giving me a chance.
Yeah. I'm letting you dig your own ditch, Dave.
Well, no, I don't think I am, you see.
No, you don't, but listen back to it.
This is a debate, and we're disagreeing. We're disagreeing. You picked... What annoyed me most of all, you picked it up on somebody's grammar. Now... As I say...
Oh, Dave, come on now. Listen, I've got children. I want my children to speak properly and to learn how to speak properly. If we at the BBC can't encourage proper grammar, then what are we?
Well, but when somebody's phoned in and, it's quite a nerve-wracking thing, I should think, for people. And, as I say, my granddaughter is a very, very bright young lady with a very responsible job. But her conversation when she was with her friends, it's awful. It's like...
Well, then we should be trying to stop that, shouldn't we?
But yes, we should.
Yes. So you agree with me?
I agree with you, but I think the time and the place you chose was probably not the right one.
The BBC is the perfect place to try and encourage people to speak proper.
Yeah, but I still think you have a browbeating attitude.
But yeah, how long have you been listening for, Dave?
And you said for about half an hour now.
No, but in the past, when did you start listening to this show?
This is the first time I've ever heard it.
Hang on a second. You just said that you've been listening in the past.
No, I didn't. I said I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here waiting for I'm waiting for the place to open up for my car to be serviced.
Are you going to listen tomorrow?
I'm listening.
You going to listen tomorrow?
I'm an insomniac and I don't get up. I don't work. I'm retired. I'm an insomniac, so I'm normally in bed till about 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock.
You can listen to me in bed, Dave. That'd be nice, intimate.
When I'm trying to get when I haven't slept till about 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I finally get off.
Yeah, well, we start at 6, so you could listen to the first hour.
Well, the other thing that made me laugh was that you said finally somebody sensible. What you meant was he agreed with you.
No, he made a sensible point, Dave. I've got to end it there. I hope you feel you had a fair crack of the whip. Speak to you tomorrow. Matt's in Luton. Morning, Matt.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Matt.
I'm just finding up. We're on a different subject. I'm not really interested in the MPs.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter. If you got your view, and you're trying to put your view over into everybody else, but
so you disagree with that? You disagree with that view, do you, Matt?
Hey,
you disagree with that view, do you?
Well, I disagree with a lot. You say.
Yeah, you keep listening, don't you?
If in the near future we do any New Year's resolutions, could you try and do one to be as nice as Jonathan for a change?
What? Hang on. You're saying I'm not as nice as Jonathan Vernon Smith?
No. I always compared Jonathan with Terry Wogan, the greatest interviewer of all time.
Have they got similar hair?
There's a man about the hair. No. There you go again, you see. Putting people down.
No, but I've said that Jonathan...
You love it, don't you?
I've said that Jonathan has got nice hair.
Why don't you come up to the Leicester Arms and have an interview with people that care?
But care about what?
Jonathan cares.
What does he care about?
He's a great guy.
I know he's a great guy, but...
And he don't put people down.
He does. I've heard him do it. I've heard him do it.
You do, mate,
I still go to bed weeping at night for Nadine Dorris's assistant that he picked on. I feel sorry for that poor bloke.
Oh, dear. You know, you really upset me. You make me feel so sorry because you are striving to become like Jonathan, but you're going to take a long time to do it.
Listen, John, I am privileged to be the warm-up act for JVS. He is one of this industry's greatest.
Well, that's it. Now, I like you now because you're getting a bit humble.
Have you been drinking?
Well, I haven't had a coffee yet.
Okay, that may be it. Because you're sounding a little bit grumpy, Matt. Grumpier than normal.
No, I'm a butcher. Butchers can be grumpy because we got to look after people like you.
Not me. I'm a vegetarian. Hello? He's gone. He hung up. Is that because I told him I was a vegetarian?
Yeah, very offensive to butchers. He comes on, criticises your job, you criticise his. I think you're equal.
What else happened?
Dennis from Luton called in. He had this to say about stuff. Hell mess.
Good morning, boss.
Good morning, Dennis. What can I do for you, love?
Charity.
Yes, we're hearing this morning that some charities, including Comic Relief, may be investing some of their funds in arms companies, tobacco companies, alcohol companies. Does it really make a difference?
Well, it doesn't apply to me because call me titles or any other name you like. I don't give anything to charity. Not money, not even clothing.
Why not?
Why? Because Panoramas explained some of it to you.
Well, hang on a second. But Panorama was when was that on? Last night, or was it on tonight? It's on tonight. So you've not even seen it yet.
No, it's what you're saying.
Okay, but why did you not give to charity before what you heard this morning?
Because this is the type of thing that's going on all the time with every charity.
You knew about this then, did you?
You know, you read it every day.
Where you don't
about charities?
Where do you read it every day?
No, you not actually read. You're told about it. You hear about it.
Okay, where do you hear about it every day?
Well, you talk about people up in my area saying I'm not going to give to charity. Look what they're doing with it. They're giving money to arms and everything. Now this is talking about Panorama.
Dennis, you didn't know that Comic Relief was was investing money in arms companies until today.
No, we read it. We was told about this last year. This year, actually.
So before...
You read it. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, thank you. Before you were told about this...
Mess.
I know it's a hell mess, calm down. But before you were told about this, why didn't you give to charity then?
Right, let me give you another... I work for charity. I won't name you...
Hang on a minute. So you won't give to them, but you work for them. What kind of state are you in?
Mess.
Okay, but why didn't you work for them but you don't give to them?
You won't listen to me. Listen, I worked for a charity for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I won't name you the charity.
Thank you.
And at the end, they had a party. And I said, what's the party for?
Yeah.
They said, because we've made £97 million profit of that year.
Wow.
And I asked, how the hell can you make a profit in a charity organisation?
Yeah.
Because... if people's giving money, they're giving it to save people's lives, to save from suffering. So how can a charity make £97 million profit?
Yeah.
And they couldn't answer it. They couldn't answer my question. So how
maybe you're asking the wrong... Who are you asking? The cleaner?
No, I was asking the manageress at the time.
Okay, at a party?
At a party.
You're a fun guy to be with at parties, aren't you?
No, don't start, because you said something about my name the other day, my accent.
What did I say, Dennis?
You said it was an idiot accident. Idiot accent.
It's an idiot accident waiting to happen.
Well, it's...
You remind me, and I'm just making... You sound like one of our other callers that we have on the show.
Oh, Sue? John?
John, yeah, you sound like John.
Yes, my brother, twin brother.
Have you got a twin brother?
Yeah.
That is bonkers.
I've got a twin sister as well.
So triplets?
Yeah.
Can I be honest with you, Dennis?
Yes.
You speak more sense than that idiot brother of yours. I cannot stand John. Don't tell him this, will you? But I just think he just sounds like such a muppet when he comes on and talks. Sue sounds nice. Is she hot?
Well, yeah, kind of thing, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't have any dealings. I wouldn't let...
No, of course. Okay, because we'll let that there. What is your life like, Dennis?
Hell mess.
Wow. I would get that sorted out if I were you. Dennis in Luton there. 08459. I hope his brother John wasn't listening. Or Sue, for that matter. Let's go to John in Luton. Morning, John.
Good morning, Ian.
Yes, John. I had a very interesting call with your brother yesterday.
Yeah, I know, he's still sleeping. He might ring you later.
Okay. Oh, okay. Do you live in the same house?
Yes, yeah. But he sleeps in the back room. We don't sleep together.
No, of course not.
No, of course not.
Where does your sister live?
Oh, she lives up in Stocksley.
Okay, right, okay.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, she may ring you later as well.
OK, well, I look forward. We normally limit it to one family member per show, but, you know, I look forward to speaking to them. If I'm honest, John...
Yes?
You're my favourite out of the bunch.
Oh, am I?
Yeah,
I thought it was Dennis.
I just said that to him to keep him happy. He's a muppet. I mean, the rubbish that comes out of his mouth hole.
Well, I know. Well, I've tried to tell him myself.
He was banging on about charities yesterday and about how he doesn't give money to charities and it was awful.
No, he's a tight idiot. He is.
I know.
I was going to say another word, but I better keep off the radio, ain't I?
Well, many people would say yes, you better keep off the radio, but when you come on the radio, it's always
hell mess.
Yeah, you see, so that's good. Anyway, John, what can I do for you?
Funerals.
Yes.
When you go to a funeral, sadly, do you go to the reception after?
Of course I do, John, because it's the only decent thing to do.
No, it's all right. You go to a funeral, you put someone to rest, and the next thing is you're all going back there, people get drunk, people are all laughing and dancing around, and you've just put a person under the ground to rest.
Yeah.
I think it's disgusting.
What do you really think?
Hell mess.
OK, but you... the thing is, John, by going back to the reception, you're remembering that person and you're celebrating life with those other people that are there.
No. It's a sad day. It's a sad day. So you just go to the funeral and they say, that's it. Leave the man or lady to rest.
Ladies do die too. Yes, that's correct.
Right. Now, the situation is, but they don't. They all go back to these parties, laughing and joking, dancing
celebrating
around.
life. I've had the misfortune to go to 2 funerals this year. Well, I think I've doubled my entire funeral count of my lifetime in this last year. And it was nice to go back and to share memories of the person who had passed, to have a little moan at the buffet, which wasn't particularly good at the second one, and just you're enjoying and you're celebrating life. John, the thing I've realised at turning 40 and going to 2 funerals this year is you are going to die, I'm going to die, and it could be today, John. So let's embrace and let's celebrate every moment we have.
Well, but you can. You can just go back to a reception, I can't understand. But when you see them all drunk...
Well, what kind of common funerals are you going to, John, where everyone's getting drunk?
No, because... Well, I went to one a couple of weeks ago, and there were about 4 people there, blokes drunk. And it was a shambles. And you just put a person into the ground.
It was a what?
Hell mess.
OK, John, well, listen, thank you very much indeed for that.
What else did we do? I should really write scripts for this.
There was some serious stuff.
Let's do the serious stuff, but let's do the serious stuff seriously, OK? MPs are discussing the possibility...
Can Kath do it, because she's better at being serious? Go on,
preferred it when she used to do the travel.
Beep.
I've never done the travel.
Beep. That's your edit point.
Thanks.
Beep.
Shh, I'm trying to be serious.
This is my career you're urinating on.
Won't call it that.
OK, here we go. This is the serious bit, and it is serious and it's interesting, so listen up.
Beep.
MPs were looking at a new bill that would effectively see the end of therapy being offered to people who are gay but don't want to be gay. Some therapists say they can convert them to being straight.
Beep.
Mrs Pilkington told us at the time that the establishment was trying to stop therapists working within a Christian framework. Her case was backed by the Christian Legal Centre. Its chief executive, Andrea Williams, joins me now. Good morning, Andrea.
Good morning.
Why did your organisation step in on this therapist's behalf?
Because we very much believe that what she's trying to do is compassionate and caring, and really quite the opposite from the sort of thing that you just outlined there. This idea, this notion, she would never use the language, nor would we, of turning gay people straight. What she did...
The language she uses, we say everybody is heterosexual, but some people have a homosexual problem. She's called it a problem.
What she says is this, that people come to her, and many people come to her, and what they ask, they're saying, we don't want to live in this homosexual lifestyle, and there are many people that don't want to live in a homosexual lifestyle, and they want to be able to move away from that. That's what counselling does. And are we really saying...
So it is a problem. Homosexuality is a problem.
People it is. So, for instance, Mike Davidson of Core Issues Trust...
Who we'll be speaking to later on in the show.
He was married. He had 2 children, and he wanted to stay within that marriage because he loved his wife.
Why? He was gay, was he?
he would identify himself as having gay feelings. He wouldn't actually. You see, the thing is, again, with what we've allowed is for a certain vociferous lobby in our society today not to actually deprive people of choices. So Mike Davidson would say, yes, like many people at different points in their life, perhaps growing up, have experienced possibly fleeting, sometimes more than fleeting, feelings of same sex.
And there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
But the point is, the point about this
is there anything wrong with that?
Is that many people who feel that way do not want to live. Okay. Do not want to identify.
But there's nothing wrong with those. There's nothing wrong with those feelings, is there?
Well, we all feel many different things about about lots of things. But actually, that we don't always need to act on those feelings, and many people don't want to act on those feelings.
But again, the question: there's nothing wrong with those feelings, is there? If you're attracted to the same sex, there's nothing wrong with that, or is there?
Well, that's part of being attracted to somebody else is just a part of being human. But you may not want to attract them. So I'm a married woman, and it wouldn't be right for me to, if I had feelings for another man, to act on those feelings.
The question again, though, there's nothing wrong with being attracted to someone of the same sex, is there? Or is there?
Well, I've just said that it's part of human life to feel attracted to various people, but it's not always the right thing to act upon those attractions. So, as I've said, I'm a married woman. If I felt attraction towards another man, it wouldn't be right for me to act on those feelings.
Not talking about acting. I'm just asking the specific question, Andrew, if you don't mind. Is there anything wrong, in your opinion, with being attracted to someone of the same sex?
I've answered that.
No, you haven't. You haven't.
I have answered that. I'd say that actually what we're dealing with.
In that case, maybe I'm being.
Can I just say that
no, very quickly, Andrea,
because
I
would like to talk about this bill.
I know you would, and we will get to the bill. We will get to the bill.
The code must include a prohibition on gay to straight therapy.
Andrea. Yeah. We will talk about that in a second, don't we? We've got plenty of time. But just maybe I'm being silly at the 9 minutes past 6. I'm misunderstanding your answer. Just a simple yes or no. Is there something wrong with being attracted to someone of the same sex? Yes or no?
What I'm saying, and I've said this,
yes or no?
As human beings, we experience many and various attractions.
I'm talking specifically about a sexual attraction to someone of the same sex. Is there something wrong with that, yes or no?
It may be part of something that happens to somebody, but the point is whether or not they then act upon it.
OK. So if they act upon it, that's when it becomes a problem?
What the Bible says is that all sex outside of marriage is contrary to God's purposes.
But gay people can marry now. So if you're a gay couple that's married, if you act upon your sexual attraction to someone else, is that a problem?
Well, Jesus would say it was so, yes.
Where does he say that in the Bible?
He outlines quite clearly in Matthew 19 that marriage is between a man and a woman, and that a man and a woman should leave their parents and cleave to one another, and essentially, our marriage vows say this: that what God has put together, that man should not put asunder, and but said a man and a woman together, and it's not two men and it's not two women, and we can't just think in 21st century Britain, let's redefine marriage, let's suddenly make it to be what we want it to be.
So you do think that being gay is a problem and is wrong. So that you believe that these therapists can cure people. How do they go about doing it?
Listen. The bill says the code must include a prohibition on gay to straight therapy. That is tyrannical. That lacks compassion for people that actually want to choose to change. It's a tyrannical bill.
It's interesting mentioned.
Nobody here is saying. We are not saying that we're not saying that people who are gay shouldn't practice or do whatever according to the law.
You just did.
No, I'm saying. Well,
you mentioned the bill being tyrannical, but surely what you've just stated about. We can't change the definition of marriage.
Law, I'm talking about the law here. I'm talking about what the law is actually saying. The law currently...
Okay. But you're saying the law is tyrannical, but then surely some people might consider, and you mentioned lobbying groups, some people might consider what you're saying is tyrannical and bullying.
Well, this bill is tyrannical and bullying.
I know. In your opinion, some people might say what you're saying.
I'm glad that you've agreed that this ban.
No, I'm saying I've not agreed, Andrea.
Did you not agree that?
No,
do you not agree that people who are experiencing? Do you not agree that people who are experiencing unwanted same-sex feelings and want to move away from them for whatever reason? Perhaps because they want to stay with their wife and their children.
So
are you saying that those people should not be able to access counselling? Are you really being that tyrannical?
Andrea, you keep throwing the tyrannical word around, yet you've ignored the point that I just raised, that some people would consider what you're saying to be bullying, to be tyrannical, and to be homophobic.
I'm not homophobic at all, because actually what the Bible says, what Jesus says, is that each one of us is made perfectly in God's image. Each one of us is loved by Him.
Gay or straight.
The best practice,
and that's beautiful.
The way in which to live, and the way in which to have full sexual expression is within the marriage of a man and a woman. That all sex outside of marriage is not for His purposes. So that's a very clear statement.
But what about people?
It's certainly not prejudicial against people who have homosexual feelings.
What about?
It's got a very clear mandate for how we should live.
I would suggest that if a gay person is married and has had children, then.
How can a gay person be married? How can you just rewrite marriage?
I'm talking, Andrea. Andrea, you're not listening. Andrea, you're not listening.
Doesn't make it marriage.
Andrea, you're not listening. You yourself have brought up examples of people who have gay feelings, who are married to women and have children. I would suggest that they have bigger issues than can be fixed by a few counselling sessions, and I think it's a little bit unfair on the wife and unfair on the children. But what about the gay people?
Certainly, Mike's wife and his children are delighted
that he's gay.
That he has stayed with them and that he's not gay at all. He doesn't identify. He does not identify as.
He's been cured.
He has moved away from his unwanted same-sex attractions.
But what about
you are using the language of cure. You are using loaded. Language.
It's been described by Leslie Pilkington as a homosexual problem. And if you don't go to therapy to change...
you may well want to play me the clip back, and I'd like to hear the context of that, but I've listened to Leslie on many occasions, and she is a loving, compassionate
Here is her quote,
woman.
Andrea. We say everybody
she herself has a gay son who identifies as gay. She knows what it is.
Interesting. Here's a quote. We say everybody is heterosexual, but some people have a homosexual problem. So she's using the language of it being... problematic. What about the gay people who don't want to become straight? What about those people?
Gay people who actually what they do is they do not act on the feelings. They do not act on their feelings that they may have.
But gay people who are gay, who identify themselves as gay, and are more than happy to stay gay. What about those people?
Well, we're not interfering with those people. That's the point I was trying to make before you interrupted me earlier. That the people that we're not trying to impose therapy upon anybody. What you're trying to do is shut down therapy for those people who, for whatever reason, want to not to act upon their feelings, that want to live a heterosexual lifestyle, or perhaps want to live a celibate lifestyle.
You said an interesting thing there. You said a really interesting thing there, if I can. People who don't want to live and act on their feelings. And that's what it's all about. It's their feelings. And people can pretend to be of a different sexual orientation, can't they? But can you really change someone's sexual orientation, do you think?
Mike Davidson is...
And we'll speak to Mike later on, but in your opinion...
absolutely. I mean, absolutely, people can change their orientation. It's absolutely possible to change orientation, to change actions, to align feelings to actions. Absolutely possible. Of course it is. Because this is the big myth. This is the big myth of the gay lobby. It's a big myth that we are born gay.
Barbara's in Stevenage. Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning.
What would you like to say?
I'm going to put the cat among the pigeons.
Oh, dear. Oh, go on. What do you want to say?
OK, right. Jesus, who did he hang out with?
He hung out with the 12 disciples.
Are they all fellas?
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Oh.
OK, fine. And the only other person he had dealings with was a prostitute. Right. Do you get a feeling round there somewhere that there's something slightly going wrong?
What's the feeling you want me to get, Barbara?
Well, I mean to say perhaps he could have been gay, and Judas or whatever his name was the one who outed him.
So you're suggesting that Jesus was gay, and that Judas betrayed him by outing him?
Yeah. How about that? Now that's a thought for the Bible, isn't it?
It's certainly. I imagine Radio 4 doing that as thought for the day.
You're not kidding. Well, but I mean to say that's all he hung out with, fellas.
But I hang out with lots of blokes.
Oh, I know, but I don't mean that. But I mean to say it's just a thought, isn't it? Yes. Really?
Do you think? Going back to the argument that you can be turned straight if you're gay?
No. I mean, I'm in the entertainment business. I know what. I mean to say I know all sorts of which ways, if you understand my meaning.
I know exactly
you cannot. I mean, I've known a family, a gentleman who's been married with 2 children and now living with a gentleman who they've been happy for donkey's years. You can't change your feelings.
Don't we just have to accept people for who and what they are?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Barbara, thank you very much indeed. Well, Barbara putting out the slightly controversial theory that maybe Jesus was homosexual. Dr. Mike Davidson is a Christian campaigner with a homosexual past and joins me now. Good morning, Mike.
Hello, Ian.
Mike, you believe people can change their sexuality through therapy?
Yes, I do, because that's my story. I got help, and I'm really glad that I had the opportunity and the freedom to make that choice.
You say you got help. That would imply there was a problem. What was the problem?
Well, it's not everybody's problem, and I understand there are plenty of people who are quite contented with their homosexual feelings, but I wasn't. And I really value the fact that I had the opportunity to make the choices that I did.
So without obviously going into too much detail, if young ears listening, how was this homosexuality manifesting itself?
Well, I was acting on it, so I was very confused. I was also married, and therefore there was an inconsistency in my life. And I chose, and my wife chose, to stay together in our relationship. And I think it's really important that we preserve that opportunity for people who make that choice. It's not everybody's choice, but it was ours, and we think that that needs to be respected and supported.
So you were married, you had kids,
yes,
and you were acting out sexually with men at the same time?
Yes, it's bizarre and inexcusable for people like me, but I'm afraid that's what was happening. And therefore, I needed help. I needed professional help. I needed somebody who would understand my agenda and work with me, and my agenda was to reduce my homosexual feelings and, if possible, to eliminate them. And I was very fortunate to have somebody who understood that need and worked with me, and I'm very grateful. I think it would be an absolute travesty of justice if that possibility is removed from us today.
Your feelings to act out with men were stronger than your Christian faith.
Well, yes.
Because you went against several Christian tenets there, didn't you? Being faithful to your wife and, if we believe some interpretations of the Bible, acting out with men.
I was completely inconsistent with my own values, and that was the cause of the conflict. So at some point, for a person to be able to be at peace and happy, they have to... you can't have your cake and eat it. If you want to be a Christian and you want to be orthodox in your values, then you've some choices to make. And those are the choices that I made.
Will you say you were
supported?
Will you say you were cured, Mike, of these gay feelings?
Well, I didn't have a disease, and homosexuality is not a disease. I don't believe in this gay cure phrase that is sometimes used in shorthand to dismiss this kind of approach.
Then how would you describe it then?
It was therapeutic support. It was looking at all sorts of aspects relating to me as a person and getting alongside with me and supporting me, mentoring me, helping me to understand my past, helping me to discern the pathway that I wanted to go. That's just good support, and because I received that, I received help and direction. I do not regret it for a minute.
Give me a couple of examples of the things, the work that you did to make this transformation.
Well, I had body image issues. I needed to work on those. I had a certain abuse that took place in my life at some point that I needed to look very closely at. I had blamed myself. That's not perhaps what happens with everybody in this situation, but that's what happened to me. So I needed to understand that I was not to blame for that situation. That was somebody else imposing something on me.
How long ago did this happen, Mike? Did you get this treatment?
This is an ongoing thing. There's a maintenance issue for me. I walk, I would say, as a Christian in the light. And I confess my sins. I look at my thought life. I am concerned about all of the issues that would take me in a direction that I don't want to go. And you know what? I really don't want to be told that I'm inauthentic or that I'm hypocritical or I'm just a repressed gay. I am a man who acted in a direction that I don't want to continue with, and I haven't.
Do you still have sexual fantasies about men?
No, very, very, very rarely. I do not have the emotional template that I once had that made me vulnerable and made me look for attention from a man.
But so you still do have, but you still do have occasionally fantasies about men, and you find men attractive. That would imply, Mike, that you haven't been turned straight. And I've got an email from Ian Murphy, who's listening to this. He says, this gentleman's bisexual who's not sleeping with blokes anymore. He's deluded. What's wrong with being bisexual?
Really, that's strong language, isn't it?
It is very strong.
Somebody deluded because they have taken a pathway that they feel is right for them. No, it's not about bisexuality, heterosexuality or homosexuality. It's about behaviours and about a lifestyle choice that I made. I didn't choose my feelings, but I have choices around my feelings, and I've gone in the direction that is consistent with my values. It may not be the values of the caller or the person who's emailed you, but they were mine. Those need to be respected in society.
What's wrong with having fantasies about men whilst being married, as long as you're not acting out on them?
For some people, absolutely nothing. It's not what we have in our thoughts, it's what we act on. The Bible is concerned about the way we act. But, I don't... you've asked me something here. I have been personal in sharing some things with you. It would be totally unfair to now try and quantify the fact that I said that I have occasional thoughts. I mean very occasional. Are you telling me that people who are predominantly heterosexual, to use that term, have never had thoughts in the other direction? I simply don't believe it. Human sexuality is extremely fluid. We have all sorts of feelings all the time. But the truth is, we can all decide the direction that we want to go in. We're not victims, and I think therapeutic support is absolutely in line with helping people and respecting their right and their access to help. This bill that is coming in, I'm afraid, lacks compassion for those people, and I'm concerned that there is a level of tyranny here that denies people a basic freedom to achieve what they want to in life. And I think any person, whether they are gay, straight, bi, or however they label themselves, ought to be very concerned about politicians forcing a specific view about this.
Good morning.
John, what would you like to say?
Well, you're taking a lot of gumption on my behalf. I've been listening to you talking about the Christians and gays and all that. I'm just wondering how they would feel about hermaphrodites, because I am one, and I'm neither one nor the other, but I have both sexual genitals, shall we say. And I find it very difficult, very, very difficult sometimes, because I can have relations with both with no problem. So their views be on somebody like myself.
How is it, bearing in mind we have young ears listening, so I have to tread slightly carefully.
Yeah.
Everything works, does it?
Yes, yeah. Everything works apart from I can't conceive.
Okay, right, okay. And how has this impacted on your life?
Well, in years, I didn't know what I was. Obviously, because I'm a male on the outside, but I have female on the inside and female whatever, shall we say.
Yeah. This must have been very, very confusing for you, John.
It was for a very, very long time. But, again, I spoke to somebody that wasn't one, but it was very understanding, and they said, you are what you are, and when you come to terms with yourself, that's what you're going to be. And I looked and I thought very hard about it, and I read a lot more about it, and
John?
And it's hard to find somebody that is understanding. But I have found somebody that is very understanding.
I was going to ask, do you have a partner?
Yes, I'm happily married.
Right.
I'm happily married, but it's best of both worlds, if you like to say it. But although it's not used as best of both worlds.
So do you
because
feel
I am happily married?
You're using the name John. I'm assuming you're married to a woman. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
So
yes.
did you have
Two children?
Did you have to make the decision? I'm assuming. Are they adopted?
Did I have to make the decision? Well,
No, sorry, the children, are they adopted? Because you said you can't conceive.
No, I can't conceive, but I can produce.
Oh, okay, right, okay. And did you have to make the decision to live as a man?
Yes, I did. I must admit, I did try both.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed both. But being a man on the more man than female, I decided to live as a man.
Well, John, you asked how Christians would approach you. We've got Jack on the line. Jack, you are a Christian.
Yes, hello, I am.
Good morning, Jack. What would you say to someone like John, who is an hermaphrodite?
Well, actually, I didn't quite hear what he was saying, but basically, before, on the line, I think it was you saying that the Bible accommodates, it's full of love, so it accommodates everybody. Is that correct?
Well, is that what the Bible does?
Well, if you read the Bible, it's quite clear from the Bible that it's a sin,
Being gay,
not being gay, but gay. And it's homosexuality is just abomination.
Jack, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
We've got John on the line, who's a hermaphrodite, but what that means is he has the genitals of both sexes.
Yes.
And he's had relations with men and he's had relations with women. He is currently married to a woman.
Yes.
What would the Bible say about that?
Well, it's an abomination. And that's it. Well, it's quite clear. And Jesus hates the sin. Obviously, he loves us. But what does it mean? People just are led to believe that if Bible is full of love, they'll be good anyway. But it's just...
So you're saying to John, who's on the line with us still,
yes, okay.
You're saying that John is an abomination, despite being born that way, having no choice in that in how he was created. Surely one of God's children, but yet he's an abomination.
Yeah, but I think it's not right to say he has no choice.
Well, he does have a choice. He doesn't have a choice, sorry, in as much as he has been born, maybe you've not heard this, he has been born with both male and female genitals.
Okay, so I don't know that, really. I don't know how to...
Well, as a Christian, what would your feeling be on that be?
Well, I believe it looks like it's not normal, definitely. It's not normal.
Okay, Jack. John, hang on a second. Let John respond. John, you've heard what Jack has had to say there. What's your response?
Hello?
Hello, John. Yeah, what's your response?
Well, my response is I'm sorry, but if that's being a Christian, I'd rather stay as I am, thank you. I consider myself very lucky that I am what I am, and I also consider myself very lucky that in the early days, my parents didn't go down the usual line of choosing one or the other. They left the choice up to me. So I'm very happy, and if that's how religion is going, then I'm afraid people can keep it.
It's not very. It's not very loving, is it, Jack? It's not. It's not a very loving attitude to call someone an abomination.
It's not a very loving attitude. Well, if you accept Jesus as a creator, and obviously everyone can be saved, but we're talking and this cannot be changed. How John was made, was born, cannot be changed, and I understand that. But it's like
can John be, to use your language, can he be saved or not?
Definitely, he can.
He needs saving though for what he's going through.
Well, he needs saving, definitely. But it's
John,
you need to be saved, John.
I need to be saved, do I? Well, all I can say is, Ian, that if that is his God's doing, what his God has done to me and made, he can keep his religion.
John, can I ask you one question? The very first thing you said when you came on, you said this is very hard for me to do. Can I ask, why is it so hard for you to do?
Well, it's not something that you readily admit. Whereas if you're a gay, a lesbian, or a gay guy, you can come out and admit to it, and people will look at you with a little bit of disdain, some of them, and they will accept you eventually. In my condition, it's very hard to be accepted because they just look at you as something like for want of a better phrase, a circus freak. But you're not. You're human. You've got all the human attributes you love. You can be loved. But it just depends which way you want to use your love and use your body. You know, I mean, there are hermaphrodites that are very happy. I mean, I know several that are very happy. I mean, it's not that uncommon. But it's just to choose which way you want to use your body and how you want to go. Yes, the choice is fine. You know, but as far as that guy goes with his God, he can keep his God because it's his God that's made me like it. And I'm proud of what I am.
John, I really appreciate your call and your honesty this morning. Thank you very much.
OK, thank you very much, Ian.
Talk again. Thank you. It's John there, being incredibly honest.
There was a bit that you were talking to JVS. That we're going to include that in the podcast.
That was funny, and that's coming up. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I don't remember what it was, but that's now.
Hilarious.
Bigos way big tour on BBC Three Counties Radio. Roberto's gonna be there. Gonna be a lot of fun. I'll be listening to that one. Jonathan Vernon Smith. We've just been there. Who suggested this, Catherine?
What?
Sorry, were you texting your husband?
No, something exciting's just happened.
Who are you?
I can't tell you.
Who suggested this? Who made this?
This vile slur on that poor woman.
I think someone has suggested via text.
It was someone who is texters and not put a name on.
Cowards.
Looking through the archive, I know the name.
They think you look like Helle Thorning-Schmidt.
Helle Thorning-Schmidt? Who is Helle Thorning-Schmidt?
That's the Danish Prime Minister who's in the
woman?
selfie. Yeah. I think she looks like Sally Burkow.
Hang on a minute. So someone has texted in to say that I look like a female Danish Prime Minister.
Yes, that's correct.
Well, they're clearly an idiot.
Well, that's...
But her last name is Schmidt, which, as we all know, is Danish for...
Smith.
Vernon Smith.
Vernon Smith as well.
Thorning-Schmidt, Vernon Smith, it probably is. Are you related?
She doesn't. She looks like the woman from the film. What's her name?
Yeah.
The blonde, the one who had the special hair gel.
Yeah. Oh,
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz, that's it.
Yes, something about Mary.
That's right. She looks more like her.
She does look like her, doesn't she?
Well, so I don't look like a woman.
Well.
No, I don't.
No?
No, I'm sorry. I'm prepared to take a lot of criticism.
No.
I'm very butch.
Oh, dear.
You are very butch. Hey, listen, it's our Christmas special recording tomorrow.
Yeah, what? You're telling everyone we're recording it?
Oh, I mean...
They'd think it was live.
Rehearsal. It's a rehearsal.
No, hang on, we don't rehearse it. That's even worse. No, we have to tell them because we're the BBC and we're not allowed to play fun tricks anymore. Oh. We're recording it tomorrow. But I'm feeling... right proper festive at the moment.
Are you?
Yeah, you're not, are you?
No.
You're a bit scroogey.
Well, I'm not. Christmas, take it or leave it.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Bah humbug you. I'm really excited. Not about the show tomorrow, that's a contractual obligation, although I will be invoicing them. But I'm excited about Christmas itself.
Yes.
Magical.
Are you? Oh.
Christmas time. La 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 la.
I feel like I'm kind of...
Time. La la la.
Oh, my God.
It's Christmas time.
All right.
What? Do you not
Come
know,
on.
Do you not know that
it's
song?
It's the 11th of December.
Yeah. Do you not know that song?
Christmas
time. La 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 la. It's Christmas time. La 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 la. It's Christmas time.
Jonathan.
Can I tell you about my phone?
Do you not know that song?
No. Not one of the catchier ditties, is it?
Time. La 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 la. It's Christmas.
So sorry,
Who sung this stupid song?
Oh, for goodness sake, how
Is it
rude.
the Everly Brothers?
Something. It was one of them.
Phil.
Okay, carry on. What's on your show then?
Coming up on this morning's big phone-in at 9 o'clock. 08459 455 555.
Christmas time.
Oh, for
la la
heaven's
la la
sake.
la. Christmas time. La 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 la. Christmas time. You
We're
going to
gonna
sing
go
with
get
us?
the next guest.
Sing with us, Jonathan. Christmas time. La 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 la. Where are you going? Christmas time.
La 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 la.
Where you
la.
going?
Christmas time. La 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 la. I just don't think he knows the words. It's really easy.
Should we write them down for him?
Yeah.
What are
have you got a pen? It's Christmas time. La la la.
Hang on. Christmas.
C-H-R-I.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Christmas.
He's gone.
Time.
Do you want to sing it with me?
La la la. It's
Christmas time. La 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 la. Christmas time. La 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 la.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iain Lee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Christmas time.
My favourite cartoonist
La, la, la,
is
la.
not
Oh,
Walt
my
Disney.
gosh.
It's Matt from the front page of the newspaper. He just says what we're all thinking, but expresses it in wonderfully drawn black and white cartoons. One of the ones this week was a real corker. I'm chuckling to myself. I do apologise. The Daily Telegraph, of course, home to the cartoonist Matt. Always has a wry, sideways look at the world. Always.
What has he said today?
It is very, very funny. He always manages to capture in cartoon form, not the fun cartoons like Top Cat, but in those dry black and white ones, what we're all thinking, but we can't express. Anyway, so it's a picture of two gentlemen, hands in pockets. They're by a sign that says Bulgaria. So they're in Bulgaria.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to the UK. This is one chap speaking to the other one. The other one doesn't say anything. It's just one guy speaking. Two guys there. One guy speaking. The other guy's silent. We can only imagine his response. I'm going to the UK to take a low-paid job that the Brits won't do. I'm going to be an MP.
How does he think of him?
Matt!
Stop it.
Matt is absolutely bonkers, isn't he?
He's mental.
He is mental, but mental in the good sense, of course.
We need to come up with a new name for Matt. Like Crazy Matt.
Crazy Matt?
Hilariously quirky Matt.
It works for me.
Okay.
Justin, very quickly, you're a musical expert here on this show.
Kind of, yeah.
I have been... I know, and I'm being polite.
Yeah.
I have been playing some awesome music recently, and it's come from me. The Stevie Wonder song this morning, my choice.
Fantastic.
Now, I've just suggested something that I thought would go down a storm with the team. I got Dirty Looks.
Come on.
Buggles, Video Killed the Radio Star.
What an absolute anthem.
Thank you very... Isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Boyle's giving me... Boyle, what is wrong with you?
Oh, it's awful.
What?
It's awful.
It tells a story.
So?
Justin, sell it to her.
It's a fantastic record. When you listen to it, it hasn't dated whatsoever.
Oh, for heaven's sake, of course it has.
That is an absolute classic. When you play that, and again, listeners right now will be saying, I remember where I was the first time I heard that record, because it was such, and still is, a distinctive track.
Last time I heard that record, it was on the Mini Pops, and that was all kinds of wrong too.
08459 455 555. Let's put it out to the listeners. Do you want to hear Buggles, Video Killed the...
Yes, they do.
Do you want to hear Buggles?
No.
Yes.
Do you want to hear Buggles, Video Killed the Radio Star? 08459 455 555. Say there, Justin. Chris in Farley Hill.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I've been told not to use naughty language.
Well, that goes... yes.
Well, see, the code of practice was...
What?
No.
Hello?
Hello, yes.
Yes. Do you want to hear Buggles?
Well, I'll go with that.
He's going to go with that.
Yeah, I don't... You know, I play guitar. I love my little bit of fame. And music. So I'm an ex-alcoholic for 6 years. That's a good one.
Good for you. Now,
and
yes.
it's not easy to get off.
It's not easy to what?
To get off alcohol.
Oh, yes. No, it's not. Well done. Congratulations for doing it. It's an achievement. But
I was on £2,000 a month, self-employed, second exempt.
Wowzers. But
okay, sir.
All that to one side.
Righto.
You'd like to hear Buggles, Video Killed the Radio Star.
I remember when videos came in, first pop videos then. They were innovation then.
Exactly.
No internet, no computers, no
calculators. That's how we got through. And what's his Twitter? I mean, I'm not up with this technology.
This man talks a lot of sense. Get him back on tomorrow.
That's it. That's the end of the podcast.
Can we end on Kath saying something serious? Whatever Kath says now will end the podcast.
Okay.
Can I just distance myself from this podcast altogether, but just say, sorry, I am here, but it's really nothing to do with me.
You're the oldest person in this room right now.
Whatever Kath says ends the podcast, so you have to say something again now.
And that's not true. I'm actually a lot younger than iainlee.
Thanks for listening to this free download from BBC Three Counties Radio, your local radio station for beds, hearts and bucks, on FM, AM, digital radio, and online at bbc.co.uk/3counties.